The most awaited format is back in Indian cricket, and more importantly, Rocco is back in the cricket field. And I have Orko with me. Orko, the tour of Australia begins, and we're all set for a Sunday blockbuster at the Optus Stadium. It's India versus Australia, three-match ODI series, kick-starting in Perth, followed by Adelaide, then to Sydney, three blockbuster iconic venues. But Perth is where it's going to be hosting the first game. More importantly, how does it feel? Looking into the pictures, looking into everything setting up, Rocco is back.
Well, definitely. As a fan, it feels very happy, to see those two gigantic stars of the game have contributed so much for our country's cricket to be back. Back in a format like this, because I don't know why people do say that T20 is taking over ODI cricket, but I still believe ODI cricket has a bit of everything, and it's a wonderful format, and that format should never die. And I think it's the
Absolutely.
only format which has a World Cup coming once in 4 years, so the value is very high. So I think you need
100%.
this kind of series to prepare for that mega event, and what better than a contest like India and Australia in Australia?
And that's where the players and the legends. You have a former Indian captain Rohit Sharma said that he wants to that winning an ODI World Cup feels different. Virat Kohli is hungry to win an ODI World Cup too, as per Dinesh Karthik. But my thoughts, I'll straight away deep down into the first and the most important point before a dream of or looking into the 2027 World Cup starts from here on. Rocco playing.
Well, I would. I mean, you see what they bring to the table is huge. I mean, you cannot easily replace such gigantic stars of the game. And if they are available, as I even told you before, that if Rohit is even available with one leg, I'll take him, no matter what his age is, because the
101%.
experience, the abilities they bring, the way they put the team ahead of everything, the kind of example Rohit sets at the front, and Kohli carries on as the perfect anchor of the game, perhaps the greatest ODI batter
You would be
we
a
have
fool
seen
if
apart
you
from
doubt
Sachin.
Kohli's fitness.
Definitely. I mean, and even Rohit for that matter, he has also worked on his fitness and is looking lean and sharp as ever.
Because I'm certain if my eyes are not wrong, he looks much fitter now. He's definitely got in shape. He looks hungry. He's happy, and but he's going to play under a new leader.
Well, I think he knows how to manage his stardom. I mean, he knows that he's never going to be the captain forever. And at some point of time, you need to look at the future. And I think the transition is pretty good. A good crop of youngsters are coming into the team. A young leader has been selected, keeping in mind that the World Cup is like 2 years away. So I think it's important to groom a leader because these are sufficient amount of time and series, to prepare from. And Gill has shown enough promise as a test captain. So why not in the ODI format? He's always been a star of the game, the number one ranked ODI batter in the world too. So I think
True.
he certainly picks himself, and I think Rohit and Kohli would never have a problem dealing with it.
The last time a captain replaced Rohit Sharma in a format or in anywhere, he was booed massively, and it was in the IPL at Wankhede Stadium. And do you think it's going to happen again? But I think that as Gill has already led India into a successful T20 Test series, I beg your pardon, just against West Indies, I think he's going to get the backing. But that makes it even more a good problem to have of who will be our openers.
Well, yeah, of course, because people like Jaiswal are knocking at the door. Even Abhishek has done well in T20, so there are ample people who can take Rohit's place. Maybe not do what Rohit exactly does, but somewhat near about. So I think definitely there are many players. This is the beauty of the Indian team that you have, three, four players for the same position. So definitely there will be competition, and Rohit does know that. But again, he would never take his stardom or his abilities for granted. I think he knows that he needs to perform. And given the kind of mindset the coach has, Gambhir is someone who doesn't embrace that superstar culture. He believes that if you are performing, only then
Correct.
you're in the team. You're playing for the country, for the team, and not for yourself. So I think that is very much something Kohli and Rohit, both of them know. And given their abilities, I think the performances will also come.
Absolutely. But what about the squads of both the sides? Let's take a look into that, Orko. Starting with India, it's going to be Shuman Gill, the captain, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Shreya Shayyar has been announced as the vice captain of the side. You have Yashasvi Jaiswal, Dhruv Jurel, and KL Rahul are the two wicket keepers. Akshar Patel, Nitish Kumar Reddy, Washington Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav, Harshit Rana, Mohammad Siraj, Arshdeep Singh, and Prasidh Krishna. So here are the full squad for Australia. I'm going for Mitchell Marsh is the captain. You're out here. You have Alex Carey and you have Josh Inglis out there. Xavier Bartlett, Cooper Connolly, Dwayne Dwashers. You have Nathan Ellis, Cameron Green, Josh Hazelwood, Travis, the headache of India, Travis Head. Josh Inglis is also there. You have Kuneman, Mitch Owen, Josh Philippi, Matty Renshaw. You have Matthew Short, Mitchell Stark, and Adam Zampa. So big squad for Australia because of few missing out the first match, few missing out the second match too. But India, on the other hand, looks a set squad. But first things first, three players: Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal. You need to pick two of them who will open the innings in the first ODI.
Well, of course, it has to be Rohit and Shubman because that's how things have been for the ODI format. And even Rohit, he has done literally nothing wrong. I think aging is not a problem anyone would have. Even if you're aging, if your performances are coming, I think that's never going to be a problem. And he has done well in the Champions Trophy. He was the man of the match in the final.
Yeah.
So I think Rohit definitely is someone you can never think of writing off as long as he decides to not, hang his boots. I think that's definitely going to make Rohit a sure shot starter along with Gill, the designated opening pair of the ODI team.
The extra bounce will be key, and Rohit loves to pull, but India's big three, the top three rather, needs to be mindful of that. But do you think that Australia have the pace attack? Do you think the Australian pacers will exploit that? Because especially in the first 10 overs, Hazelwood stuck.
Definitely, Hazelwood, Stark, and even Bartlett. I mean, if he happens to play, he's someone who has also been doing very well. He's a proper power play bowler, even gives a bit
Correct.
with the bat. So he's a total all round package, and he's in form. He's had a very tremendous domestic season. He was impressive in the IPL as well. So he knows all these players, and definitely he has that, that nagging outside of line and length, which can, entice players like Kohli for the drive, thereby creating some edges and all. So I think Bartlett could also be a handy customer to have, apart from people like Hazelwood, Stark.
100%. But when you talk about the best player of spin in Indian cricket, I still say time and time again, whether it's red ball or white ball, India's vice captain Shreya Iyer. I think he's going to once again be there in the number 4 spot alongside KL Rahul, who has to perform well, who's doing well in any of the format he has been backed on. But on the other hand, talking about team news for both the sides, if you talk about Australia, Adam Zampa is missing out at the moment. Josh Inglis is missing out the first ODI as he's not recovered from injury. Josh Philippe, who is going to don the gloves for the first ODI, huge opportunity for him. Alex Carey is playing a Sheffield Shield match, so he's going to be available from the second ODI. No Adam Zampa, so Matthew Kuhneman comes into the side. He's probably coming into the 11 too. A little bit of weak bowling attack, especially spin attack for Australia. No Zampa, no Maxwell, so you need to rely on the likes of Connolly, Matthew Short, and also the likes of Kuhneman if required.
Definitely. I mean, the spin doesn't look very convincing because Zampa was the one who led the pack. And, to have Connolly, to have Kuhneman, two proper left arm spinners, but again, they can't, create the impact as Zampa would. That's what one would expect. So I think they do look a bit short in terms of their spin department. But again, if they get going together, Matthew Short, I think, is a very capable all rounder. He can produce a few good overs of off spin and also can bat anywhere. If you want him to open, even in the lower order, he can play. So I think he'll be a handy player, but they'll definitely miss the big guns like Maxwell or Zampa in the mix.
Absolutely, but some of the Indian commentators during the India Test series were saying that I'm really surprised that Kuldeep Yadav has played so many less number of Test matches. Should he be now considered as an all-format player?
Definitely. I mean, earlier he had fitness issues. People used to say that he has that fitness thing in him, which was the reason why they need to balance his availability in different formats. But he looks fitter than ever. He's changed his bowling. He's no more that slow trajectory bowler. He's someone who mixes it. He mixes it up pretty well. Varies his pace, and of course he always had that enticing googly, the flighted deliveries, the flippers, and all. He has everything in his armory. So I think he should
Absolutely.
be designated as our top spinner. The one bowler who needs to play all formats for us.
Absolutely, that's going to be important because if he doesn't, he is somebody who can change the game with either of one spell or second spell. Akshar Patel has been given an opportunity ahead of Jadeja. Does that surprise you?
Well, a bit because Jadeja was in form. I think he was in the form of his life. If you talk about how his
Exactly,
last
especially
six
the
months
batter.
went, absolutely, his batting was very good even in the IPL, even in the England tour. I think he's been doing well with the ball as well. So it was a bit of a surprise, but maybe they're slowly trying to bring in that transition, because they do believe that Akshar is the successor of Jadeja. So why not give him a try overseas, especially in a tour as difficult as Australia? So I think it still makes sense because Akshar does have the ability to, do what Jadeja does. He can bat well. He can give you some quality overs of spin as well. He did well in the Asia Cup as well. So I think Akshar still fits the bill, even in the absence of Jadeja. It wouldn't be much of a problem.
Absolutely, it will be a huge, not much of a problem. But no Hardik Pandya, he has not yet recovered from injury. But Jasprit Bumrah has been rested from the ODI series, but he's part of the T20 squad. Does this finally give you the option that Arshdeep Singh is going to lead the pace attack?
Absolutely, and I think he deserves it. I mean, I know we should not mix formats. He's a little more of an ace in T20, but I think he does have it in him to function even in ODI cricket because always the left arm element is something that can surprise batters, especially in tracks like Australia where you get some movement up front, that bounce and all. Arshdeep has everything in him. He has some great death bowling abilities as well, and I'm totally happy for him that he's in the mix. And even people like Prasid and Harshit would be more than enough to compliment him.
Absolutely, but talking about the opponents rather the host, it cannot be any more destructive. Mitchell Marsh and Travis Head are your two openers.
Definitely. I mean, Mitchell Marsh, the kind of fury he has, he always goes all guns blazing from ball one. We've even seen it in the IPL, how he batted for the
Correct.
Lucknow Super Giants. And Travis said, a man who needs no introduction in our country, as you rightly said previously, is the headache of this nation. So I think that's just the dream opening pair one would think of. I mean, when you think that Warner is done, then comes this kind of an opening pair, and I think they definitely would cause some problems. And you do need bowlers like Arshdeep who get wickets up front. He's someone who had a good record against Phil Salt when it comes to playing against England, so he can knock over such kind of bashes. And I hope he does the same to someone like Head and Marsh.
True that, but about the Optus Stadium, that's going to having extra bounce for sure. But average score here has been near about 280 plus, and in this format, two quality sides playing against each other, 300 should be an average according to me. Extra bounce is certainly going to be there, but runs will be on offer, Orko. So if you are given the captain's hat, win the toss and chase.
Well, yes, I think chasing would be a better thing, because no matter what you put on the board, I think it will certainly be a proposition enough to chase for both the teams because of the kind of style they bat. If you talk about Heads with the kind of dashing he comes in the power play, you have Rohit in India, and even Gill can do a similar thing, and so can Marsh. So I think these are very similar styled cricketers who play up front, and definitely if they get the tone going in the power play, you would see some massive scores being scored as well as chase down. So I think any
Correct.
team would look to chase. And of course, people like Marsh should be someone people would be worried of, because he's a local lad in Perth and he knows these conditions pretty well. So
True,
I
and
think he'll
he's
be the
somebody
player
who
to
can
watch
give
out.
you those blistering starts, just like Travis said, and think the match can go away from your grass even before it started. But what about the players to watch out for? Three players from each the sides. Let's take a look into that. For Australia, it's going to be Travis Head, Adam Zampa, and Josh Hazelwood. No surprises who are the two Indian players I've gone for. Roko, to be honest, and Arshdeep Singh.
Well, definitely. Rocco needs no introduction. Whenever they play, literally Aussies are minting money, by selling tickets using their name. They are not using the players which they
Fact
have in their
everywhere.
own
It's
country.
fact.
So that's the kind of cricket they both have played, and that's the kind of fan base Indian cricket has. Wherever you go in this world, you'll always get fans coming in huge numbers to watch whoever plays. And if it's Rohit and Kohli, the numbers will only be higher. So I think they too definitely fit the bill as the players to watch out for. Arshdeep, as we previously talked about, someone who takes the ball away and also brings it in, has some handy death bowling element in him as well. So I think Arshdeep, in the absence of Bumrah, becomes crucial. So I think these three players, I would even add someone like Shreyas Iyer because of his recent form, and he is that enforcer in the middle order who tries to score quick runs. So I think he'll be a vital cog in this team, not just for the series but also in the World Cup. And of course, in Australia, you cannot think of an Australian bowling attack without Hazelwood or even Stark. The kind of
Yes.
bowling abilities they have, that nagging line which Hazelwood bowls a bit back of a length, often troubles people like Kohli and Shreyas. So I think he'll be crucial for them. And even in their batting, as we talked, Marsh and Head, are very crucial players to look at with the kind of starts they give. And if any of them or both of them get going for a long time, they'll cause a lot of trouble for the Indian side.
Absolutely. Apologies for that. It shouldn't be Adam Zampa in the players to watch out for. He's not available for the game. So it should be Mitchell Stark, according to me. I am adding yours players. Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazelwood, and Travis said are for Australia. That should be a set one. But what about the playing 11? This is going to be interesting. First match of the series. Let's take a look into that. Talking about India, I've gone for Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma, your openers. Virat Kohli at number 3, Shreyas Iyer at number 4, KL Rahul at 5. Very excited to see what Nitish Kumar Reddy does at number 6. Akshar Patel at 7, Washington Sundar at 8, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Siraj, and Arshdeep Singh are the remaining 3 bowlers. Any changes for you?
Well, I think I would largely go with the same. And if they really want to try someone like Harshit, then maybe he might come in place of Nitish, because they do have batting depth in Washington Sundar as well and Akshar Patel as well. So I think that kind of combination would only come and be decided at the time of the toss. But otherwise, Nitish Reddy, the kind of backing he received, he was
Mhm.
picked for the BGT, he was picked for the England series. And even
Correct.
in whatever little opportunities he got in England, he was pretty good. In Australia, he had a breathtaking 100 in Melbourne. So definitely, he's not new to this situation. Maybe a format which is new to him in Australian conditions, but I think he has enough caliber. He's got some good bowling abilities as well, apart from his batting prowess. So I think he'll be an exciting dark horse pick for me. So this is what the playing 11 largely would look like.
Okay, so you're going with the same 11 just like I gone. What about the Aussies? Let's take a look at that. Mitchell Marsh and Travis Serra, without a doubt, the openers. Matthew Short at number 3. Josh Philippe, the wicketkeeper, batted number 4. Cameron Green, Mitchell Owen, Cooper Connolly is there in the middle order. Xavier Bartlett, Mitchell Stark, and Josh Hazelwood are the 3 seamers alongside Matthew Kuhneman. This is the player. I think players pick themselves for the first ODI.
Absolutely, and especially the kind of absence that they have. Some people like Zampa missing out, and even as you
No
talked about
Carey, no
Alex Carey.
Inglis.
Exactly, those kind of players missing out, but they still have quality. That's what the Big Bash has given Australia. Like how IPL has given to Indian cricket, Big Bash has done the same. All these players, Mitch Owen, Cooper Connolly, Cameron Green, these are all products from the domestic setup and also the Big Bash. So I think they have enough quality, maybe not the stardom, but they have quality. They have players who can bowl and bat in the middle order as well. So I think they can compete with this gigantic Indian side. So I think these are the players that will largely pick themselves.
Okay, so you're more or less going with the same 11. I've gone for both the sides, but I'm certainly now putting you into the hot seat. Time for predictions. Big game because it's a bilateral series, but the preparations have begun, especially for Team India for the dream of 2027 World Cup. Your percentage for the opening game at Optus Stadium, Marco?
Very hard. I mean, you can never put a larger percentage on an opponent against Australia. So I would say India, but not by a far fair majority, maybe 60-40 in favor of India to win this game.
Okay, that's a good enough. 60-40 because of the experience this quality Indian side has. Few of the big names are missing in the Australian side. Maybe if the likes of English, Zampa, Carey would have been back, maybe he would have gone for a bigger 50-50 or maybe slightly tilting towards the host. 60-40 is what Orko has gone for. That's all we have. Thanks a lot, Orko. First match, Super Sunday, I must tell you, because tomorrow we are going to do the England preview as well. It's India versus England in the afternoon on Sunday too. Two Indian sides are playing back to back. In the morning, it's in the Perth Stadium where India men's are playing the mighty Aussies. In the afternoon, it's in Indore where the India women's are playing the England women in the Cricket World Cup. Sit back and enjoy. That's all we have now. India versus Australia, the first ODI. We are building India's smartest cricket community. Subscribe to become a part of it.